Just for fun today, I decided to demo some of my kits, cook kits that I have, and I got myself some little kindling and firewood, some stuff that I had made. Um, there's the hike pack, the day pack, and of course the overnight pack. So let me start with the day pack that I can pop in my bag and take it out on a hike. It has its own little drop cloth, if you will, so that I can lay it out and not get my stuff on the ground. Keep everything clean. This is a little windscreen, which I don't think we will need today. A little bit of tin foil. My little pot holder. I have some tea. And of course, my cook kit. I'm doing it on this so that I don't burn my tabletop. Inside my cook cup, I have my little stove that I fashioned. I can also use this, I can use wood in here, or I've made a little alcohol stove. So you would just put the alcohol in there, light it, and heat your water. But today we're going to use wood in this one. So I'll put that aside. Inside my drinking cup, I have my tea and coffee and sugar. But today I think I'll make some ginseng tea. So I'll come back in just a minute. I want to get some water and we'll demo this stove. It has gotten a little breezy, so I'll go ahead and show you the windscreen. They're just pieces of metal that I've folded so that I can slip them together. Which is easier when you're not looking through the camera. And that goes just around the stove like so, so that the wind doesn't bother the fire. When you're in the woods, you can find stuff like this. This is called fatwood, and all it is pine saturated with sap, and it makes an excellent fire starter. I also make these little baby fire logs that I can take with me. So I am going to start the fire. Get a few little pieces of chunks of wood in here. Now, out in the woods, of course, you're using all twigs. But here, I'm out on the patio, so I'm going to use what I have, which is a lot of the little pieces of pine. And I have some oak in here that I'll put in. A little chunk of oak. In my kit, I have matches and little fire starters. But today we're going to use a little piece of this. Fat wood. I'm going to put that in there and we'll get the fire going. And I'll come back after the fire's gone on for a little bit and is ready to put the water on. As you can see, I have a pretty good fire going. I have this little pot stand that I made out of wire. I think it was coat hanger. And I'm just going to put the pot stand in there. Put my cup on. Add some water. Put my lid on. I don't think I need this windscreen, so I'm going to move it out of the way. And we're going to wait for the water to boil. I have this little cup that I fashioned. And what we're having today is ginseng instant tea. It's just little granules. It makes a really lovely little tea. I'm going to check on my water. Oh, it's getting warm in there. We'll come back when the water's boiling. It's been just a few minutes and I don't know if you can hear the water boiling on the video. But we got some nice hot water. Take my cook pot off the fire. And have myself a lovely cup of tea. And I really like doing this on the trail. I always love having something nice and hot to drink. And of course you'll only do this if you're on a rock or someplace safe. If you're not, if you're on the forest floor, then I use the alcohol stove, which has a lot less flame. But I'm going to have my steaming hot cup of tea, and then I'll show you my other cook kits. Okay, my next cook kit is my overnight cook kit. A little larger, of course. I'll give you get the camera back a little bit. There we go. And I made the bags for all these cook kits. In here we have a bowl. I have my cook pots, spoon, a scraper, I have this great little stove in here. Napkins. Of course, I have my tea. I have a cup, and inside the cup is another one of those little stoves that I make, but I am going to use the square stove today. And I won't need the bigger pot because I'm not making soup or anything, but I'm going to use the smaller pot to heat up my water. So in this little bag is this nifty little stove that I bought online. I always have tinfoil with me. And I just love it. I, of course, had to augment it. Be nice if I could open it. Come on. Might need to put a little oil on those. Get all that stuff out of there. There we go. That was a bit of a trauma. But this is how the stove comes, and then I added this so I can have a chemical fire in there if I want and not ruin the bottom of the stove. Also made these little pieces that work as a windbreak for the stove. If you would need to cut off the wind. This little top that goes on so you can put your pot right on top of there. Also, I have this little screen, which I think I'm going to trim because I think that's why I had trouble getting it off. If I wanted, I can actually grill a little hot dog, and I have. So we're going to start a fire in here. I'm not going to show you that part. I'll get the fire going, and then we'll heat up the water. Okay, I have a nice little cook fire going, and one of the reasons I always carry tin foil is if I don't have a lid that fits the pot. Now, if I was using the bigger pot, this smaller one will work as a lid for it. But I'm using the smaller pot. I've got my fire going here. And my water's already getting hot. You can see that, steaming. So that's how it works. I would put my tea in my cup, and of course with this kit, I have this nice little insulated cup. Put my tea or coffee in. Pour in my hot water. And I've got a nice hot beverage to drink. Also, I can actually cook a little meal in my stove, whether it's hot dogs and beans or whatever I want to cook that night, a little stew or chili. And I'm good to go. Also have this little scraper in this kit, which is good if you need to stir stuff around in there. Okay, we're going to let this fire burn down, and then I'll show you my big kit. Now, this is my, if I'm going for several days, I can use this cook kit. I also have a cook bag for when I'm doing my car camping, but this is just for spending like a night out in the shelter. Okay, I'm going to take it apart because it's so big I can't fit it on camera. And then we'll show you what's all in here. Of course, napkins. I have my Stanley Cook set. This is utensils and tools. Also in here is a kick-ass stove. Some more utensils. Has all kinds of things in here that I would need on a trip. I also have a windscreen for this, which I won't be using today. I have a little fry pan if I want to fry up some stuff. And then there's that large windscreen in here as well. But we won't need the windscreen today. This stove is really great. I bought it online. I really like it. And I keep my fire starters and fat wood and flint and steel in here. And then I am going to load it up with firewood, get a fire started, but I'll show you what's in my cook kit because this is really cool. I changed the lid for this cook kit because they had a plastic lid on it, which plastic and fire usually don't go together. Here is my little alcohol stove that I bought online. It's much larger than the one I made. Obviously some coffee and tea, sugar. Inside I have another pot. So I have like 3 or 4 pots. And the Stanley cook set comes with these insulated cups, and it comes with 2 of them. And of course I divided them among my kits. And what I did was cut them here so that I had 2 cups. So if I want to have soup and some coffee, or if I have a friend with me, I'll have enough things to drink out of. I think what I'll do, since you haven't seen the alcohol stove yet, I think I'll get that set up and show you how that works. Okay, to light the alcohol stove, I usually like to use matches for this. And you just put that in there and it lights. You can see this in here. I don't know if you can tell that it's going, but I can see it. You probably can't see it on the camera. Maybe I'll try to get you a little closer. You can see the, if nothing else, maybe the heat coming from there. So yeah, it's quite warm. And what I'll do is put my Stanley cook set on there. I've already got the water in. The alcohol stove is burning. You can see this is a lot neater if you're in a more enclosed space or you're concerned about fire. You can use the alcohol stove. And of course I'm going to put my lid on because water boils faster if it's covered. So it is heating up now, and I'll show you what's in my little utensil kit that I have with this. I have soap, and of course I have oil in case I'm frying something. I have a little sponge to clean up. I have a little pair of pliers, a lighter, eating utensils. If I'm having a fire. This is to help blow on it to get it the coals going. Little knife, of course. That's what's here in my utensil kit. Okay. Well, I think you've seen it. The water's just going to boil, and I'm not going to make any more tea because I'm about caffeinated out. Extra pot in here. Love the little fry pan I got. And of course I had to take the handle off so that I could fit it in my kit. But I made a handle for it out of a fork I got at the dollar store. Okay, that's it. I hope you had fun watching me play with my camping stuff. Bye.